Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host, the expert Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode, this is a clip show. So it's not really a true episode. You can grab the full episodes always every single week and you can jump into those. But what we're going to do each week also in this regular feature is this could be clips of the previous episode. It could be lives I've done on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. It could be private sessions. It could be just awesome stuff. Now remember, what we're all about here at Mindset by Design is about building new behaviors, new ways of thinking, feeling, and acting using NLP, which I'm a world-class expert at, concepts and the understanding of neuroscience, and also behavioral psychology, influence, persuasion, peak performance, all of those things combined together to be able to retrain your conscious, unconscious mind and really change the brain, the nervous system to make you superhuman. That's it, right? Have you ever seen that movie Limitless? Right. What my job is to give you the tools and tactics to be able to, live a limitless life, have a limitless brain, and create the life and freedom that you truly want. I've done this for 20 years all over the world, and I've done it with people from Saudi Arabian royalty to Fortune 500 CEOs, people doing IPO, world champions, digital superstars, right? People that you know all over the internet. We've got NBC winners, Hollywood producers and actors. I can go on and on, But the idea is here to help you. We've been doing this for a long time and we're just getting started. So today, this is a clip show, so enjoy, and I will see you at the end of the show. Oh, just before you jump into the show, make sure that you're hitting the show notes because we've got constant awesome courses, live events, free things, awesome things to be able to make you really perform at your absolute best and create the life that you deserve. So make sure you hit those show notes up or head over right now to andymurphy.online. andymurphy.online. So enjoy, and I will see you at the end of the show.
This is true in every area of our life. Our lives are almost like reading a newspaper today, but we're reading the headlines from 90 days ago. And so that's what confuses people. They see the external results of their life, but if you read the newspaper from 90 to 120 days ago, that's where the news was made, not today. And so in every area of your life, you got it going right now. You got to fuel the fire. If you've got your business going, your finances going, your relationship going, your faith going where you want it to, you have to continue to do the activities that got you here in the first place.
Welcome to the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy, where you will learn the tips, tricks, and strategies he teaches his world-class clients to give you the skills to dominate any business.
What's going on, Mindset by Design crew, and welcome to episode 370. Hope you're awesome as always. I really do. We're getting closer and closer to that 400, right? We're getting there. I'm pumped about that. Not sure if I'll bring in cool guests or I have no idea, but 400's a big one. We'll be well over $2 million by then, which is pretty epic in itself. Well over that. We got another 40 episodes by then. We're well over $2 million. And do you know what? I'm really excited about that. And I don't know if I should put a special event on. I don't know. It's got to be some celebration, right? Biggest celebration, I suppose, is launching the Unfair Advantage Academy, which is epic. Influence, persuasion, high-level peak performance using NLP, neuroscience, and 20 years of my experience working with the best in the world. It's for who? You got it. It's for sales pros, closers, real estate agents, coaches, whoever it is that wants to double their income in the next 12 months and live a free life. Sound good? That's you? Keep checking out things. Head over to andymurphy.online. It'll give you all the links. New site's about to appear. We do a lot behind the scenes over here. There's a lot going on behind the scenes just for you. But I'm pumped about this, and you should be too. And speaking of pumped, today's episode, it's quite cool. I don't know if you know a gentleman who's, I've put a few episodes of his up before. Well, the clip shows that I do. So Ed Mylett, badass, and he runs a big podcast for a start, right? But like a lot of these people out there who just running podcasts or coaching, they don't have a lot of wisdom or experience. They're just really doing it to make money. You know what I mean? So they hype themselves up. They don't have the client track record or the business track record, and they're just teaching things that other people have taught them without any wisdom. Well, Ed Mylett is not one of them for sure. I love this dude. This clip we're showing today is really, really cool. It's about goal setting. You probably gathered that by the title, right? Probably did. But the thing is, he runs a I think it's like $20 million financial services business. And he's interviewed all the best and all the greats, and his podcast is blowing up. So I love to grab clips from Ed because he's cool, and maybe one day I'll be on the show. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or maybe he's on mine. That'd be awesome too. Either way, thank you, Ed. Keep putting out the awesome content. So speaking of content, that's what we're going to jump into. You know the drill. Find me on social media. Very easy. Andy Murphy Mindset. Get it? Very easy. What else? Yeah, just keep looking out for the updates. Head over to andymurphy.online. It's probably a fast way to stay with the latest and greatest stuff, whether it's going to be articles, videos, blogs, podcasts, or massive free video series, content, or just getting access to the Unfair Advantage Academy. Either way, that's where you're going to go. It's nice and easy. But right now you can sign up and grab a brilliant, badass book called The Total Control Blueprint. I'm actually going to be changing that title. But for right now, it's The Total Control Blueprint. It's going to go into all the science, the brain waves. It's going to go into everything. It's badass. What else? That's it. Shall I shut up and jump into this episode? I thought you might say that. So let's go and hang out with Ed. And obviously I'm going to do what I do in these episodes, give my 2 cents worth. That's it. Let's have some fun. I'll see you at the end of the show.
Having a difficult time in my life in one area or another, all I have to really do is look back 60 to 90 days, and it's the behaviors I had 60 to 90 days ago that are causing the results I get negatively right now. And so, like, for example, when I'm not really, progressing in my career or in my financial situation, if I look back 60 to 90 days prior, I stopped reading the books, listening to the audios, doing the things that grow my identity, and I pay the price 60 to 90 days later. In my body, when my body isn't looking like I want it to, if I look back 60 to 90, 120 days, that's when my diet got weaker. That's when my workouts weren't quite as intense as they were previously, and I pay the price 3 to 4 months later. This is true in every area of our life. Our lives are almost like reading a newspaper today, but we're reading the headlines from 90 days ago. And so that's what confuses people. They see the external results of their life, but if you read the newspaper from 90 to 120 days ago, that's where the news was made, not today.
Okay, crew, there we go. We jumped into meet Ed straight away, right? And I love what he's saying. Also, I disagree with one thing, and it's probably going against everything that's ever taught in the personal development industry, but I'm still going to say it because I disagree with it. But first of all, I love what Ed's saying. Because it's true. If we can... Basically, I have this rule for myself. If I'm still doing the same thing as I was last week, I'm not moving forwards. And that's really what he's talking about. Because it's the truth. I can go back into a memory of yours or a period of time when you were absolutely kicking ass. It might even be right now. And what I do is something called strategy elicitation. What the heck does that mean? It means we look at the blueprints of what you're doing when you do excellence, right? So whether I'm working with a trader, whether I'm working with a high-level CEO, or I'm working with someone just getting started, or a salesperson, or real estate person, or coach, to double their income, right? The truth is, there's a blueprint to how you did the best version of you. There is. Like what you spoke about, because Ed's a clever boy, right? The level of your commitment, right, is the level that you're going to get out. And I love the fact that he's used like 3 or 4 months down the track. So 90 days, 120 days. It's kind of the truth, man. It's kind of the truth. It's like you can maintain your fitness for a certain level of time, man. But then what happens? Yeah, we start to get a little belly, right? What happens? Well, then we fix it. But the truth is, it's the same with habit formation. It's the same with business. It's the same with your level of commitment and confidence to yourself. It's like this, right? If you haven't done a sale in a while, for whatever reason, it feels kind of weird when you close someone and then they pay you. Right? But it shouldn't, but it does. It's the same with everything, right? If you haven't been to the gym in a few months and then you suddenly go to the gym, first few times you go into that gym, it's kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. And it's the same with everything. Because if we understand that our brain works very much like a muscle, then the muscle that we're pumping dominantly affects how we see ourselves, our belief system, our motivation, our attitude, our focus level, our motivation. It affects everything. So if we're constantly around that level of people, but also that habits inside of ourselves, or the discipline to be strict with our routine for the greater good of what we're moving towards, then you're going to see the results. So you've got to ask yourself, what have you been? Well, for a start, I don't know where you are in your life right now. You could be absolutely smashing it. You could be on a dip right now and wanting to get back to where you were, or even smash where you were in productivity or results, right? You whatever it is, you might want to smash it and double that, triple that. But the thing about that is when we look at habits are formed through micro steps, right? Micro decisions or micro commitments start to build a new habit. A new habit is software or neurology inside of our brain, right? So what we got to get used to is constantly pumping this muscle. The muscle of who we know we really are at our ultimate, right? At our absolute best. We have a vision of inside of us, of that ultimate version of us that we know deep in our hearts that we really are, right? If we got rid of all the BS, if we got rid of all the fluff, all the noise, all the nonsense, all the people, all the mistakes, the distractions, the escapisms, if we got rid of all of those things, then what would be left? Yeah, the badass us, right? That's what would be left. Us being a badass. And that's the ultimate version of us. And so every day, that's what we strive towards, right? The issue I have, what's taught in this cell, first of all, does that make sense, right? Makes sense. The issue I have in the personal development industry is they talk about an identity. And identity is from psychology, and Tony Robbins talks about identity too, and it's something that I really disagree with. Now, I have an issue with calling what's a popular term when I talk about specific states or versions of the you that execute at a certain way, meaning the sports version of you is different from the sales version of you, is different from the relation version different of you. They're all very unique versions of you. This is something I teach inside the academy. But what you've got to understand is I don't like the term alter ego. Now, alter ego is a powerful thing, and I've gone through this many times. Ego is a powerful thing, but I teach to move away from ego, because ego also makes you do irrational reactions, because the emotion that's sitting inside of an ego isn't certainty. It's not confidence. It's always coming from a certain lack. Now, that lack can create incredible results. It creates millions of dollars. It creates rock stars. It creates all of these things. But the fulfillment side of you isn't there. Do you know what I mean? It's never there. And I've looked into the minds of people who are billionaires. I've looked into the minds of everyone at that level. And the truth behind it is that it's not an identity that we want to be stepping into. It's a version of ourselves, for sure, with the same ethics, the same everything, just with a different focus, different belief, different set of software, right, in our brain. But an identity is an ego, and in ego, the way I understand and the way I teach this comes from a more of a spiritual concept, right? We're supposed to be driven by a passion or alignment or a heart, a mission, man, right? A mission to achieve something. That doesn't have to come from ego, right? It really doesn't. Ego creates incredible results. It's just at the highest level. It will never create fulfillment. So why start with ego when we can strip that away, teach you to be the real version of you, but add layers of superpowers or skills on top of that. So it means that then you can perform at your highest level that's driven from your intuition. Big difference, right? Big difference. And so when we start to understand that, I have different terminology. But either way, Ed's awesome. Okay, crew, there we go. The end of another clip show. I really hope you enjoyed it. You got lots of good stuff from it. And again, if you want to go back and check the previous episode, well, it's waiting for you there. And speaking of waiting for you there, you've got to make a decision. That's how much do you want the next stage of your life? Do you want to have that limitless brain? Do you want to be like a Jedi? Do you want to be part superhuman? Do you want to take your business life to a whole new level with influence, persuasion, peak performance, and neuroconditioning? Well, I'm sure you do. This is how we scale businesses from 5, 6, 7, 8 figures plus. This is how I've worked with the top people in the world, and I just want to share some of their secret strategies with you. So the next thing you need to do, very simple, nice and easy, just simply go to the links. That's it. Hit the show notes up, see what's available for you today, and also make sure that you're heading over to andymurphy.online. Why? Because we got articles, we got videos, we got content all for you sitting right there, and so many options to help you get to that next stage, to win, finally win, or take your business and life to a whole different level. Sound good? Awesome, that's waiting for you there. And make sure that you're finding me on social media. It's very easy. It's Andy Murphy Mindset. Type that in, you got me. Or Andy Murphy NLP, Andy Murphy Mindset. Either way, you can find me all over social. Make sure that you're connecting, make sure that you're hanging out, and make sure that you're writing me an awesome review somewhere. Spotify, Apple, or any other platform. I love you for it. They love me for it, and it means I can keep pumping out this awesome content. Okay, do that right now, and until the next time, much love. Have an amazing week, and oh yeah, one more thing. Why don't you smile for me and keep kicking ass?
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode of the Mindset by Design podcast with your host and NLP expert, Andy Murphy. We'll catch you next time.